More than 175 military veterans and families gathered recently to view a film about a Vietnam hero who gave his life for his country. A large number of Mohawks from the Akwesasne Reservation served in Vietnam, piquing their interest in the film. Screenwriter Tom Henry got the idea for the film after a single can of Schaefer beer was discovered on a shelf in an abandoned Port Henry garage where Marcus Stoddard worked and later joined the Marines. Before the screening, a traditional Mohawk prayer was given, finishing in English.
And we give thanks for them not forgetting what they were put into the world for.
The old garage was sold, then abandoned for a number of years. Today, it is the home of the local fire department.
In 2016, Henry's Garage in Port Henry was being toured by a group to see if it qualified for placement on the historic register, the National Register. And in that process, we learned that there was a beer can somewhere in the rafters of that building that had been placed by a Vietnam soldier who was killed in 1969. He had placed the can there, hoping to drink the beer when he came home.
Sadly, Stoddard never came home, having been killed in Vietnam. By then, the story of the beer can on the shelf was mostly forgotten. Stoddard's death, along with the 4 other local men killed in the war, affected the community.
I was 12 at the time. It was very hard on everybody. People, it was my older brother who was lost. The families were really torn apart. But then again, it brought a lot of people in. After his death, the families became closer. My friends were around more. It was a strange time.
It was also a time of strong protest against the war. Much of the protest anger was taken out on returning veterans who had served their countries.
I'm a Vietnam vet, and I know what the treatment we got when we come home, and the sacrifices that we made. And I had a lot of family here that are veterans, and I just had a feeling when I seen the ad at the film, I says, maybe a little devil got inside of me and says, you got to show it to our people. And that was that spark that set it all off.
Those attending were mostly Mohawk veterans of Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. The screening was shown here at the Akwesasne Mohawk Casino, where veterans throughout the reservation came to view it and renew old friendships based on their military service.
Well, we don't really have a message. I think people are taking their own message from it, but the people that we interviewed in the movie are speaking their experience. So we have the soldier, Mark Stoddard, his friends, his family, members of the community speaking about how Mark's death affected them.
Communities like the town of Moriah and the Mohawk Reservation had a total of 10 young men give their lives for their country. Is there ever a closing to it?
I hope not. You got to keep the guy alive. I mean, this was what he did for the country. And I don't think you need a closing to it. You just have to realize the sacrifice.
One person who realized the sacrifice made was Mark Stoddard's girlfriend, acted on screen by Amy Henry, who had talked to her about the couple's short time together.
Well, tears were, flowing down my cheeks. She has such a special way of sharing her memories that you can really just connect fully with it. And she was a teenager. She was 16, 17 years old going through all of this. And, you think back to what you're doing at 16 or 17, you're like, that was not, there's just no relation there. But she really just joined in with that Stoddard family. They all kind of just adopted her as part of their family, and the memories she shared are so warm and special.
Michael Stoddard said that because of the film, his children and everyone who sees it knows Mark better, and for a good reason. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack LaDuke in Hogansburg.
Veterans Coming Home is made possible with support from Casella Resource Solutions and the Cloud Splitter Foundation.